Hello everyone, here is our team presentation.
A picture about the national stadiums of the night in the background. In order to host the Olympic Games, China has built the national stadiums, which is located in the Beijing Olympic Screens. Completed on July 28, 2008, it covers an area of 258,000 square meters and has about 91,000 seats. The total cost is 2.267 billion RMB, designed by President Miro and Yicheng. The main capacity is huge steel platform with a total of 24 kilometers made of Q460. You can see there a simple picture in the middle of this page. This is a lowly high-strength steel due to the large size and heavy weight of the components. It is necessary to use the crane of the high-altitude hosting. It is extremely difficult to ensure the simultaneous stacking of the multiple communication points during hosting. The construction process uses a lot of industrialization, reduce labor intensity, very linked to take the positive measures.
Hi, this is Sihan. I'm here to compare the structure between the National Stadium Bernice and the Colosseum. First, we talk about Colosseum. The Colosseum is built before 7,000 years. The third floor of Colosseum is made of concrete cylindrical arches. Each floor is composed of 18 arches, which is form circular corridors of different height. The upmost floor is 50 meters high wall. The standard record layer by layer. The arches play a supporting role. For the furnace, it looks like it's the same structures, but in fact, it used the main structure to support. Look at the pictures. There's a lot of mesh structures on the roof of the building. Secondly, the high light of the Colosseum relies on sunlight and use natural ventilation. Because there's a lot of arches, it will not be too crowded, even if the tens of thousands of people inside the Colosseum. The furnace does not only rely on sunlight, but also use LEDs as the main lighting. On the other hand, the roof maintains structures of the building as a steel structure covered with the double layers membrane structure, which is the shapes of hyperbolic cylinders. The building and structures are integrated, unique and beautiful. For the furnace and the Colosseum, the live load, day load, hydrostatic load, and wind load are the same. The only difference is its earthquake load. The shields and the place the people stand or sit in the furnace are separate, which means you can understand it's a two building. So it is very effective to assess the earthquake.
The National Studio was built with Q416 steels, with a total demand of 110,000 tons. The steel weighed more than it can be transported by road, and its long range making difficult to assemble. So engineers take a different approach to the parts. After completion in stages, the steel will be shipped in batches to Beijing for assembly with large lifting equipment. Large steel transport vehicle, bulk transport, LR-1800, lifting equipment assembly parts, LR-1800, spare car lifting 315 tons, mean arms 15.6 meters, elevation 18.8 degrees. The auxiliary arms is 16.6 meters long. Its transport equipment at the time did not support the movement of large parts. Both the Coliseum and the National Studio decide to divide the large parts into smaller ones for assembly at the set. So people use welding and splicing method to assemble steels in batches, and the welding temperature must be above 115 degrees. Due to the large gap caused by welding, it will affect the stitching process, so people use the modern technology without mount, design template on a computer and assemble them in the batches. Computer templates can be assembled from the steel under reasonable conditions. Continuously, measurements are required during assembly. Instead, the internal steel column force, the following from the outside. It took 3 years and 8 months to build.
So let's talk about the culture. Compared with the buildings before 1700, we choose the Colosseum, which was built in 72 to 80 AD, while the Beijing National Stadium was built in 2008. So why is this comparison? First of all, because the Colosseum and the Beijing National Stadium look very similar. They both look like a bird's nest. They are a place for people to watching sport event, but they are nearly 2,000 years different from buildings in culture. So first of all, the Colosseum is a place where slave owner, a noble, and most free people of the ancient Roman Empire watch animal or slave fight. The Colosseum had 5 floors, the bottom of which is a noble, then is a woman, and finally is poor people. So we can see that the life of the Roman citizens is dependent on their class, and the skill levels they need to build, such as the Colosseum, where was a mason and designer and also concrete worker. However, the Beijing National Stadium is built in the sake of the Olympic spirit and sport cultures to reflect the hope of the human for the future. Also, there is no high and low class between the people, but more is like sport spirit between the people. The last page is our references.